from the Distrito Federal of Mexico City to the city of San Francisco. Fans, visit Street Soccer Park at 200 Harry Francois Boulevard, right next to AT&T Park. The community small-side soccer complex offers weekly pickup games for youth and adults, as well as soccer classes for kids 18 months to 12 years old. Find out more at www.streetsoccerpark.com, and remember to show your SF City membership card for discounts on pickup games and league fees. Again, very pleasant good evening, everybody. Welcome to historic Kezar Stadium for tonight's 2018 season finale CDL match between the visiting SF Lions and your City FC. Now let's meet the starters for the SF Lions, as announced by head coach Javier Ayala Hill. The goalkeeper, number 0, Andrew Constantino. At defender, number 21, Colin Liberty. At defender, number 16, Kyle O'Mahini. At defender, number 2, Matt Albert. At defender, number 14, Johnny Macbeth. At midfielder, number 7, Ray Normark. Midfielder, number 6, Andrew Paoli. Midfielder, number 8, Marcus Simmons. Midfielder, number 11, Diego Lopez. At forward, number 9, Ardo.
Welcome to Kezar Stadium here in the heart of San Francisco as SF City FC hosts San Francisco Glens Soccer Club, and it is live right here, right now on the Bay Area Online Sports Network.
What makes our restaurants different, the other taquerias, we have a very unique service where everything's cooked right in front of you. The meats are grilled right fresh in front of you. All the ingredients are made that day, natural ingredients, fresh produce, and natural meats. We have a happy hour that runs Monday through Friday from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. And we have all the tacos are $1, beers are $2. We are famous for burritos. We seem to make just the right balance in the burrito, the right texture, the right moisture, juiciness, the flavor, very unique. We have 3 locations. We're a family operation, so we don't have a lot of locations, but we just have the 3 and run them hands-on, and to maintain all the quality, the service, and make sure everything is done right. My name is Guerrero Espinosa, and I'm one of the co-owners of Pancho Villa Taqueria, one in San Francisco on 16th Street, one in San Mateo and in B Street.
Welcome back to Kezar Stadium here in San Francisco. My name is Charles Woolen. I'll be covering this game for you from the 1st to the 90th minute as always. And thank you so much for tuning in to help grow the game of soccer in this country by tuning into this broadcast. That's exactly what you do. These two teams just separated by 1 point in the table. There's 2 games to go for both sides, but this is a penultimate match for bragging rights and who's going to be the cellar dweller and who is not. We'll go ahead and give you the starting lineups for San Francisco Glens Soccer Club. It is mainly a 3-5-2 for first-year head coach Javier Ayala Hill. Andrew Constantino, Matt Albert, Andrew Paoli, Ray Dorwart, Marcus Simmons, Arda Balut, the man from Stanford, Diego Lopez, Johnny Macbeth, Kyle O'Mahony, Tawab Amiola, and Colin Liberty. For San Francisco City FC, there are 2 changes from the team that went ahead and defeated the Southern California Seahorses last week. Charlie Furrer is the goalkeeper. Barry McCabe is in the back today. He's joined alongside him as Halil Bajai, Robert Hines, and Tanner Beeson. Kai Tamazawa back in the side for SF City, fresh off of his goal. Alongside him, Mark Joshua, Jonathan Partita with an amazing goal on Sunday, Armand Bagramian, Ashish Chadha, Ryder Bell, and of course the goalkeeper, as I had mentioned before, Charlie Fuhrer. We're all set for kickoff here. Ryder Bell standing behind the ball, licking his chops. The man from North Carolina who's come into this San Francisco City FC team and added quite a bit of energy that's been different to the front line that they've needed so far. We are underway as Coit Tower goes ahead and meets the sunset, as well as the intersection of Haight-Ashbury and Golden Gate, where sits Kezar Stadium, our current position for this match. San Francisco City FC wearing their iron and gold kits. For the San Francisco Glens Soccer Club, they are wearing white kits with green shorts. The first meeting between these two sides, 2-1, just around 6 weeks ago at Boxer Stadium, another soccer-specific stadium near Daly City and Glen Park Bart, but very much part of San Francisco. This is Ryder Bell, just outside the box, trying to thread the ball in here. And that's Johnny Macbeth right there, trying to clear, does well, and an SF City FC foot meets that goal kick in this early going. Usually here at Kezar Stadium, the wind is whipping and swirling. We'll have to see how that kind of bodes for this match. It would be in favor of the Glens, and here's Arda Balut on the front foot for the Glens. A quick first touch and cleared away there. It kept in nicely, and in this system you would expect the Glens to be able to do that. Ball over the top. Fuhrer is right there off of his line. Charlie Fuhrer, who has just come into this side for SF City FC and really kind of stamped his mark as the number one. They've had 5 different goalkeepers so far this year, and Charlie Fuhrer has really found his poise. A man who's overseen the last 2 wins in a row for SF City. The form hasn't been bad for SF City, but the form in the beginning for the side was not favorable at all. 1 win, 2 losses, and 2 wins in the last 5. So win, loss, loss, win, win. This is Bangranian over to Tamazawa, cutting inward onto his right foot. That's smartly taken and cleared away by Colin Liberty, the Stanford man. Lots of Stanford connections between the two sides today. And these two players, these sets of players know each other all too well. In speaking with Coach Patty Coyne and Javier Ayala Hill, they're both saying that these two sets of players are fired up and ready to go for a game of this caliber. Tamazawa heads on. Brought down by Ray Dorwat. And now Andrew Paoli, stolen in central midfield by Chada. Oh, and what an effort there by Ashish Chada. Could have been 1-0 SF City very early. But Constantino off of his line, the St. Mary's man, applauding and clapping his hands. And why not? Excellent save, sprawling over to his right side there. Rather left, but Chada had to go from distance. And right over the bar. Corner kick, SF City, right in front of the San Francisco North Siders. This is Bangranian, Robert Hines, and Constantino is there, settling his team down. Kind of get the feeling that this type of game has a very, very quick and nervy opening. You would assume that both sides have an energy level that's kind of off the charts to begin with, because they'd like to both win this game. They'd like to end the game on, end the season on a high. McCabe with a touch up into the air. Brought down by Diego Lopez. And now that's Marcus Simmons with the touch. Kyle O'Mahony back to his goalkeeper. Hines' second ball. 1 down there by Diego Lopez. Off to the right for Ray Dorwat. His cross. And Charlie Fuhrer does well. This is Armand Bangranian, who's going to be playing at the University of San Francisco, less than a mile up the road down Stanyan Street from here, starting in August. O'Mahony into the feet, in central midfield of Johnny Macbeth, but dispossessed by Partida. This is Tomazawa now, looking for Partida. Smartly cleared away there. Offside flag raised. San Francisco Glens bringing a supporter section today, holding a huge green flag. The San Francisco Glens Brigade. And it's actually spelled in a really interesting way on their banner. That is the north side, the San Francisco City support, which always comes out in full force. That's where the party is. That's where the fun craft beer and the heart of this team really lies. Big part of the experience here in San Francisco to be part of the Northsiders. There's McCabe off to Bongranian. Bongranian back to his left foot. Bongranian! And it's over the bar. Again, just 1 point separating the two sides from one another. They both scored the same amount of goals, 14 goals scored. San Francisco City has conceded 23 goals, the Glens 16. The Glens, their run of form, a little bit interesting. 3 losses in a row, a tie, and then a win. They came back from 1-0 down last week against the Southern California Seahorses. It was a brace from Plantinos off of the bench to spark the Glens for the victory. This is Beeson into the feet of Chada, switching the field to Halil Bejai. Bejai coached by Javier Ayala Hill at Cal when Javier Ayala Hill was the assistant coach there. Lots of connections between the players today. Looks like this will go for a SF City throw-in just in front of the sand pits and just in front of the Glens supporters group. The Glens Brigade. Captain Barry McCabe to take this one. He scored on Sunday, and he set up the second goal. A wonderful goal, probably the goal of the season by Jonathan Partida. But I talked to McCabe before this game, and he said the lads are getting to know one another, and this transitional period is almost over since they've had the same side for the last 3 games in a row. They've just figured out how to play. And he cheekily said, they figured out how old I am. That's Arda Balut, comes off of the stanchion of the post, and looks like the offside flag is raised for Tawab Emiola. Excellent work there by Arda Balut. Told he's maybe going to be the starting striker next year for Stanford. 3 national championships in a row for the Stanford Cardinal. We almost talk about it every broadcast, but there's Tanner Beeson. He's one of those Stanford players. And he's got a year left of eligibility. Partida finds Bongranian on the right side, but he prefers his left foot. Gets McCabe into the play. Looking for Tomazawa. That's Ryder Bell now at the end line. Bell looking for Tomazawa again. Bongranian with the shot over the bar. That was better and well worked by SF City. And the fans love it. More of that is the chant. San Francisco City FC supporters, the Northsiders, in absolute full force today, banging their drums, singing their hearts out against intra-city rivals, the Glens. Paoli up into the air. And finally brought down there. Nice touch by Diego Lopez. He's had some good composure off of these second balls today. Settled by Partida, and now Tomazawa The always energetic Tamazawa, Partida, and now Beeson. Has to go back to Hines. Hines settles, plays back to his goalkeeper. This is McCabe, all the way back to Fuhrer. Fuhrer, a Stanford man himself. Five Stanford players on the field for both sides. McCabe fouled, free kick restart for SF City. This is Ashish Chadha, whose chance in the 4th minute sent Constantino off of his line. Tamazawa onto his right foot, does well, plays in to Mark Joshua. Brought down by Tanner Beeson. Chadha dispossessed with a very cheeky Diego Lopez. And offside is Arda Balut. Well, he didn't like that one bit, Arda Balut. He was off to the races on that one. These two sides met just 6 weeks ago. 2-1 was the score. Ryder Bell with the winner in that match. Tawabe Miola making things interesting in the 70th minute or so. Chadha, Partida, and now Beeson for Chadha. Nice little dummy. Can he get there? He can for a second. And it's going to be a SF City throw-in here on the near side. Good stuff this by Beeson. Goes over the head of the intended target, which was Ryder Bell. Brought down by McCabe. Better communication in the back line, but not the best clearance out of the back there by Charlie Fuhrer. And speaking with him before the game, he kind of understood his responsibility of being the number one for SF City and knowing that there's been a lot of changes in the goalkeeper position. 5 changes in that spot so far this season. Of course, the PDL, it's always a challenge to maintain and keep the same 11. And for the last 4 or 5 games, this SF City side has had that. This is Beeson. Diagonal in that channel. Looking for Ryder Bell. Now on the counterattack. This is Balut. He does well, Balut. Comes off of Robert Hines for a Glenn's throw. Throw in now. It'll be taken by Ray Dorwart, playing on that right wing-back position. Look at him get down that line. Here he is, at the corner flag. Closely defended by Ashish Chadha. Corner kick now. Good work there by the Glens. First set-piece opportunity taken by Andrew Paoli, who plays at UCLA and part of the San Jose Earthquakes Academy team. Paoli sends it into the area, near post, cleared away by McCabe for the on-rushing Balut. McCabe finally able to clear. The ball hangs up in the air. The wind not too much of a factor in this match so far. But we'll give you our latest weather updates as much as we can. Speaking with Coach Javier Ayala Hill, he said they're feeling good, getting confidence back and momentum going into the last few games. So this one does matter indeed. This is Ryder Bell into the feet of Tamazawa, looking for the far side run of Bangranian. Dorwart over the top for Artabalut. Almost finds him. And you got to think that diagonal is going to be on there for the Glens all day. Trying to pull out Tanner Beeson from his left back spot. Try to provide that ball to one of the strikers. Diego Lopez does well. And finds Marcus Simmons. Simmons looking to thread a ball into the final third. Can't find one of his teammates there. Header won by Paoli. Second ball won by Paoli. Can't find any of his teammates. This is Tamazawa. Good tackle in central midfield by Diego Lopez. Bit of soccer ping pong this. Finally falls to Diego Lopez. Will the ball fall for Balut? And he's just an inch offside. Otherwise, he's in. He still missed the breakaway. Not sure if the fans like that. I think there was a bit of a groan from the Glens side. And why not? Can really hear it on both sides here. There may not be as many supporters in the Glens supporters section as you can see to the right side of your screen with those Irish green and white flags, but you can see and hear there's plenty of Glens supporters in the building today. And there they are. Passionate and standing with their flags. Anyone that brings a flag to a football match here in this country, especially lower league, they deserve a pat on the back, and they should get a coffee for waving that flag, or a beer, of course. But with that being said, that's their choice. Free kick now to SF City on the right side, just outside the area. Paddy Coyne for SF City saying it's been a roller coaster season. Excited also to end on a high. Big game, and both of these two sides know a lot of these lads. This one's going to be taken by Beeson for SF City. Beeson standing behind the ball. Ryder Bell in there. Bajai in there. So is Hines. Beeson, it's a great service. And it's over the bar by Bangranian once more. Able to meet it just at the near post. The Glens had a very exciting signing today. They signed Vern Glenn, a local Bay Area sports broadcaster, to come hang out with them for the day. So Vern Glenn, it's with two N's. And, of course, the Glens is with one N. So you have to admire the unique poetry in signing Vern Glenn to one day as a San Francisco Glen. All the way back to goalkeeper Constantino. Looking downfield for Emiola, who heads on for his strike partner Artabalut. Central midfield Paoli with a towering header. Bangranian. Glenn's forcing things centrally and now winning back possession. Paoli, who played the Burlingame Dragons for the last number of years as well. PDL franchise that was affiliated with the Quakes. Play on, says the referee here. Now, Colin Liberty. Can he find Emiola? He can. Emiola. Shoulder to shoulder versus Beeson. Able to get there. Emiola. Dorwart. Paoli again, who really dictates this central midfield. You'd think so with all of his experience at UCLA and the Quakes. This is Dorwart, onto his left. Paoli again. Chada over the top, looking for Baumgranian. Finds his feet off of the second ball as a missed kick by Matt Albert. And now the Glens win back possession. Referees today, Saul Espinoza in as the main lad. Brian Yip and Rory McMahon, the two ARs, and the fourth official, Lee Halsey. Ball over the top, looking for Balut. And this is Dorwart. He wins back possession nicely in the final third. On for Emiola. Tawab Emiola, his cross. It's closed down by Halil Bejai. And those two know each other from Cal and USF. Bejai, part of a Cal side that lost to USF in the first round of the NCAA tournament last year. Emiola, a junior transfer, going to be a senior next year at USF. Bejai, done with his collegiate career, but very much trying to maintain this, see if he can continue on professionally. Paoli, this is his second corner. It's an outswinging corner. It's caught on liberty, and it's just wide, and he knows it too. Puts his hands on his head and politely runs back to his center back spot by looking up to the heavens. Well, he knew he had a good chance there. With a personal loan from Freedom Plus, you could score any goal, from paying off credit card debt to financing a home renovation. Flexible terms on fixable loans up to $35,000 are available now. Find out how much you could qualify for. Visit freedomplus.com to get your free no-risk quote. Freedom Plus, A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau and a proud supporter of SF City FC. That's Ryder Bell looking to find one of his teammates. Bejai. And now Tanner Beeson. Ryder Bell looking to find Mark Joshua in there. Beeson for Joshua, his college teammate. He's upended. It will be a free kick for SF City. Beeson, one of those hard-nosed defenders that you don't find as much in modern football these days. I'm told he kind of gets in rows with other teammates at trainings. But 3 national championships for Stanford is quite the number heading into his last season with the Cardinal. This is Chada. Headed up into the air, top of the 18, Dorwart. Look at that wonderful touch by Balut. Balut does well, runs into McCabe, wins it back, and Robert Hines marshals it out for a throw. You can just see the attacking prowess of Arda Balut. And that first touch was magical. They're going to score goals today. It's definitely going to go through him. Diego Lopez and now Marcus Simmons. But here comes Ashish Chada. Out for Tamazawa, who scored on the weekend. Wants to maybe add to that tally. Beeson. Jonathan Partita on his goal, he said, I was excited. He didn't think about it, but he knew when he struck it, and there's the man there that set him up, Barry McCabe, that he knew that it was going in. And so it was a couple 1-2s by McCabe that led to squaring the ball up for Partita. This is a Chada save by Constantino. Another terrific opportunity by the incoming freshman, Ashish Chada. And there's Constantino again, foiling Chada. Corner kick for SF City, the second of this half, taken by Bongranian, who stands behind the ball. It's an in-swinging corner. Bongranian headed away by Tawab Emiola. He goes to ground. And look at Chada just wriggle through. Salmon swimming upstream, and Constantino, he loves it too. Couple claps. He's on his game today. Second time he's done that. Nice to see Tawaba Miola back up on his feet. The towering striker. Hails from the Houston area, Emiola. And Coach Eddie Soto at USF doing his best to get Emiola into prime striking position for next year as USF looks to continue making the NCAA tournament as the West Coast Conference representative potentially in 2018 after some very magical moments. McCabe with a tug on Balut, and of course a foul is given. Right in front of the Glens fans. Balut doesn't like it very much, has to kind of reset himself. Espinoza calling for the foul, and the Glens to take. Going to be taken by Marcus Simmons. Simmons on his right foot now, surveys the field, sees Paoli in front of him, may go short. Nice little chip. Colin Liberty, and it's stifled out there by Robert Hines. He's asking for the offside flag as Johnny Macbeth sneaking into the back post, having some words with Saul Espinoza. Well, Macbeth was at the back post as the ball was sent in. Liberty positioned himself nicely to be able to head on for his teammate who was just hanging out at the back post. But Robert Hines and Johnny Macbeth both have some height on them and some athleticism indeed. Oh, 50-50. Fair play there to those two. Hines asking for the flag. And look at that. Not sure if he's offsides or onside. Both of them arguing. Macbeth with possession. On the sideline. Into the feet of the trusted Paoli, who switches the field here. Now Dorwart. This is Partita. Now Tomazawa finds Ryder Bell, the man that won this game for SF City 6 weeks ago. And a foul just in front of the City bench. Ryder Bell pleading his case with Espinoza. Simmons to take once more, switching the field. This is Matt Albert. Johnny Macbeth once more. Macbeth looking to maybe cross this in. Chop down. I think he wants a foul there. Not called by the referee. On for Bomgranian. Breaking back onto his left. Space for SF City. Tomazawa. Has Beeson to his left. Closed down by Dorwart. Beeson. And his cross spiraling, curling over the end line. Constantino will be happy to have that. Well, for Coach Javier Ayala Hill, once more, he's fortunate to be where he's at in his coaching career. The head coach of SF State and this San Francisco Glens squad. And just chatting with me before, he knows what it's like to play at the highest level, so he wants to do his best to relate that to these players and be able to mix and match. He said it's been a process this year, and he understands that sometimes it's brutal. They've conceded some goals in the 90th minute, but he's humbled to really be part of that process with the side and knows they can only get better. This is Chada on for Beeson. Throw in now for SF City. Beeson looking for Tomazawa. Central midfield, this is Colin Liberty. Great run out of the back by Liberty. Runs into Beeson. Beeson and Liberty, the two collegiate teammates, having some words. And maybe a little bit of slap boxing between the two of them. SF City, proud to partner with Hostling International, High USA, for the 2018 season. High USA believes that exploration and travel lead to a better understanding of other cultures, and in turn creates a peaceful, smarter, and more tolerant world. This is and has been Hostling International's mission for almost 100 years. Great work this in central midfield by Mark Joshua. Onwards for Ashish Chada. Can he get there? Goal kick. Well, Chada was in his stride. Beautiful little through ball by Mark Joshua. Kind of yet to see that flower grow from Mark Joshua in central midfield. He's really been playing in that number 10 position, just behind the striker. Perhaps we'll see it this evening or in the next match. SF City plays away on Sunday, 5 o'clock, against the Santa Cruz Breakers. The Glens, they host Fresno FC U23 on Saturday at Boxer Stadium, a team that has been together for a long time, of course going up to the USL ranks this season. Now on the front foot, here are the Glens. This is Dorwart. Crosses into the 18, and gets the ball back here on this right side, just in front of our broadcast position. Bamgranian always seems to have something up his sleeve, but into the feet of Paoli. He's hungry. Paoli with the shot. Comes off of Hines, and it's going to be the third corner kick now for the Glens. Well, you don't expect too many goals out of central midfield from Paoli because he's a true number 6, a player that wins back possession and then distributes and does well at that. His teammates trust him in doing that, but had to go on his left foot, closed down by Hines. Here he is on the corner, Paoli, once more for the Glens, right in front of the Glens Brigade. Paoli over everybody's head. This game not too tense and not in a position where both sides are playing too cagey. They both had their chances. Constantino's come up big time for Glenn so far. This is Charlie Fuhrer to take. Haven't had to say his name too much. The Glens haven't tested him. As you can see, the wind blowing out from the west to the east. We're exactly 3 miles away from the Pacific Ocean, just down Lincoln Avenue as the ball sails over the top. This is Colin Liberty. He's got to be careful here, and he concedes a corner. Well, as you can see off of the goal kick, the ball hung up in the wind. Chada was able to maintain possession there. And then all of a sudden, a switch and a through ball. And here's Paddy Coyne directing his players. Again, when I spoke to Paddy, They said they're excited to end on a high. And so 2 wins in a row. They could make it 3 today here at home, which would do wonders for the supporters. And more supporters have filled in there. It looks like they've got a full section all the way up there in that area from the bottom rung to the top. They've just continued to bring in new supporters and have them be part of the experience. Now, this is Diego Lopez. Left sideline for Amiola. He'll get to that corner flag. Amiola beats McCabe. Great work by Tawab Amiola for Simmons. His shot closed down. Simmons still up on his feet. Mark Joshua. And now Tamazawa, who seemed to switch sides with Armand Bumgranian. Reset for San Francisco City FC. It is the San Francisco Derby. The stakes between the two sides, it's really second to last place or last place. So I know both sides would like to be able to get something out of this. Although the Southern California Seahorses are just in front of SF City on goal differential. Both on the same amount of points, but the Seahorses -7 goal differential, SF City -9 goal differential. Sitting in front of the two sides, though, is the San Diego Zest, a team that beat SF City here in the home opener. $14 points for them. So the Glens on 12, SF City on 13, Seahorses on 13, but above SF City on the goal differential, and then above that is San Diego Zest. And they only have one game, they've finished their season. So they are done for the year on 14 matches. The Glens did beat San Diego Zest 3-0. And then both sides tied one another. But again, none of these two sides want to finish bottom of the table. They want to show their improvement to both their coaches and kick on potentially for next year. Ball bouncing around, won by Halil Bejai. Beeson brought down by Mark Joshua. Awkward on the first touch, and Paoli's able to get it down. But so too there's Hines. Once more Chata, central midfield, operating nicely. And this is Joshua once more. Overlapping run for Beeson. And just how he likes a deep throw in the final third. Mark Joshua finds Partida. Once more, this is Chata. So much energy in central midfield, Chata. Kind of get the feeling he can run 2 games after he plays 1. Tamazawa, overlapping run with McCabe. Tamazawa elects to go for McCabe. And cleared away by Colin Liberty. Both sides, they know each other all too well. Javier Ayala Hill saying, who is going to pull it off? Is there a goal in this before halftime, potentially? What side that's going to be, we'll have to see. The Glens in the 3-5-2, SF City possessing the ball in a more of a traditional 4-3-3. The Glens' chances coming on the counter through Emiola and Arda Balut. Chata has challenged the goalkeeper so far 2 times, who's come up big time, Constantino. That even might be his middle name. This is Tanner Beeson. Closed down. Bumgranian now with possession. Does well. On the turn, this is Mark Joshua. Budged off the ball by Diego Lopez. He had to be quick, and he was. Chata switching the field. McCabe over the head of Bumgranian. Quickly thrown in, Bumgranian. Back to Partita. Mark Joshua, it's a good diagonal. It tests Constantino. It's kind of in that no man's land place. And on the ground too, but quick, out of his pen. He's been sturdy so far. And look at Arda Balut with this hold-up play against Hines. And there was a bit of a discrepancy here. If it was a goal kick or a corner, Arda Balut, who's working very hard up top for the Glens, shouting at Espinoza, asking for the corner, but none given. That's the second time he's asked for a call. Chata dispossessed. This is Simmons. Left side runs into McCabe. Crucial tackle there. Once more, this is Chata. Ball over the top. Always to the goalkeeper, Constantino. The Wind, as you can see, holding the ball up when SF City attacking from the right to the left. Ball doesn't even go through the halfway line. This is Robert Hines II. A sturdy central defender, can play left back and right back as well. One of the fan favorites of this side. Notre Dame de Namur product. Played at the Las Vegas Mobsters 2 years ago and impressed so well that Paddy Coyne had to call him up for this side. And been part of the setup for the last 2 years. This is Johnny Macbeth. Finds Balut. Sideline for Diego Lopez, whose winning of second balls has been pretty impressive. Has been running off of the two strikers and showing himself. Just coming up on a few minutes to halftime now. Switch of the field by Partita. And now Chata, pedestrian pace as the Glens get in a defensive block. Kind of a low block as everyone's defending except for the two strikers. McCabe, Partita with the dummy. Partita wins back possession. Partita's in here. End line, Partita does very well indeed. The cross closed down by one of the Glens defenders. Tomazawa circles over there. The fans love it. Tomazawa still in play. Finds Beeson. Tanner Beeson wants it on his left, goes to his right. Tanner Beeson! And he wins a corner. Well, beautifully worked by SF City. You felt like you were going to a Renaissance fair there. All of the circles and the spirals. Tanner Beeson with his hands on his hips. Now look at this. Beeson onto his right foot. Unpreferred right foot, mind you. Bumgranian with the third corner for SF City. The referee has to stop play. Just for a second, Espinoza wants to have some words with Robert Hines and Andrew Paoli. Now those two having a go at one another. Bumgranian and headed away by Paoli at the back post. Tomazawa loses out, though. Here comes Tawab Emiola. McCabe trying to close him down. Emiola and McCabe times his tackle well. In the last minute of this first half, the fans are enjoying themselves on a Thursday evening. End of midweek match, San Francisco Derby. And why not? The weather is not too bad this evening. Espinoza in control. Not too much to write home about. But I wouldn't say these two sides are going to be pen pals for the next 45 minutes. This is Chada over the top for Tamazawa near the corner. Ball went out of play. We're just waiting on Lee Holsey's stoppage time announcement here. The referees are using a very good and modern technological system that they can communicate with one another. Seems to be the standard these days. And no stoppage time added at the end of the first half here between these two sides. Once again, handbags aside, a couple of chances for SF City through Ashish Chada. But the back line of SF City probed a couple of times there. Tawabe Miola and Arda Balut going close, but not bothering Charlie Fuhrer too much. 0-0 at halftime. We'll be back with the first half highlights and all of that coming up in just a few moments on the Bay Area Online Sports Network. Don't go anywhere. SF City 0, SF Glens 0 at Kezar Stadium.
Our smiles can light up a room. Our work can light up an entire city. We're the men and women of the IBEW, working with a code of excellence that guarantees the job will be done right, on time, and safely. We're lighting the path to the future. Let us show you just how bright that path is.
There's this thing that some of us are born with, and some of us figure out along the way. We must travel. While others are content to settle, we are driven to see and do everything new and different, following our instincts instead of an itinerary, knowing that the price of real adventure is $20 in our pocket and 3 days worth of clean clothes. We understand that sometimes talking to strangers can be a very good thing. In fact, we seek the company of those kindred spirits who, like us, think the worst thing you can do is stand still. So we keep moving, sharing the weird, the cool, the random, the best day ever, and learning a little more about ourselves and each other every day.
One of our successes has always been able to find the B personalities, and the B personality just stands for Butler, which means fitting into our organization. We could have been a much bigger company if we had chosen to be, but it's been the philosophy of both myself, Bill, and the leadership team to stay at a size that we really know all of our team members and their family members, because we're only as good as the team member sitting next to us.
What makes our restaurants different, the other taquerias, we a very unique service where everything's cooked right in front of you. The meats are grilled right fresh in front of you. All the ingredients are made that day, natural ingredients, fresh produce, and natural meats. We have a happy hour that runs Monday through Friday from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. And we have all the tacos are $1, beers are $2. We are famous for burritos. We seem to make just the right balance in the burrito, the right texture, the right moisture, juiciness, the flavor, very unique. We have 3 locations. We're a family operation, so we don't have a lot of locations, but we just have the 3 and run them hands-on, and to maintain all the quality, the service, and make sure everything is done right. My name is Guerrero Espinosa, and I'm one of the co-owners of Pancho Villa Taqueria, one in San Francisco on 16th Street, one in San Mateo and in B Street.
Our smiles can light up a room. Our work can light up an entire city. We're the men and women of the IBEW, working with a code of excellence that guarantees the job will be done right, on time, and safely. We're lighting the path to the future. Let us show you just how bright that path is.
There's this thing that some of us are born with, and some of us figure out along the way. We must travel. While others are content to settle, we're driven to see and do everything new and different, following our instincts instead of an itinerary, knowing that the price of real adventure is $20 in our pocket and 3 days worth of clean clothes. We understand that sometimes talking to strangers can be a very good thing. In fact, we seek the company of those kindred spirits who, like us, think the worst thing you can do is stand still. So we keep moving, sharing the weird, the cool, the random, the best day ever, and learning a little more about ourselves and each other every day.
One of our successes has always been able to find the B personalities, and the B personality just stands for butler, which means fitting into our organization. We could have been a much bigger company if we had chosen to be, but it's been the philosophy of both myself, Bill, and the leadership team to stay at a size that we really know all of our team members and their family members, because we're only as good as the team member sitting next to us.
What makes our restaurants different than the other taquerias is that we have a very unique service where everything's cooked right in front of you. The meats are grilled right fresh in front of you. All the ingredients are made that day, natural ingredients, fresh produce, and natural meats. We have a happy hour that runs Monday through Friday from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. And we have All the tacos are $1, beers are $2. We are famous for burritos. We seem to make just the right balance in the burrito, the right texture, the right moisture, juiciness, the flavor, very unique. We have 3 locations. We're a family operation, so we don't have a lot of locations, but we just have the 3 and run them hands-on, and to maintain all the quality, the service, and make sure everything is done right. My name is Guerrero Espinosa, and I'm one of the co-owners of Pancho Villa Taqueria, one in San Francisco on 16th Street, one in San Mateo and in B Street.
Our smiles can light up a room. Our work can light up an entire city. We're the men and women of the IBEW, working with a code of excellence that guarantees the job will be done right, on time, and safely. We're lighting the path to the future. Let us show you just how bright that path is.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. With a personal loan from Freedom Plus, you could score any goal. From paying off credit card debt to financing a home renovation, flexible terms on fixable rate loans up to $35,000 are available now. Find out how much you could qualify for. Visit freedomplus.com to get your free no-risk quote. Freedom Plus, A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau and a proud supporter of SF City FC. SF City FC is proud to partner with Hostling International for the 2018 season. Hostling International believes that exploration and travel lead to a better understanding of other cultures, and in turn, that creates a peaceful, smarter, and more tolerant world. This is and has been the Hostling International mission for almost 100 years. SF City is thrilled to have MoviePass as the title partner for the 2018 season. Love movies? Sign up for MoviePass now and see a new movie a day for only $9.95 a month.
You want the scoreboard or you want the go? Okay. Good. Well, yeah, I just put it up with the movie. It's up.
0-0 here at halftime at Kezar Stadium. Charles Wolin with you on the Bay Area Online Sports Network. Let's go ahead and take a look at the highlights of this. Andrew Paoli loses the ball in central midfield, picked up by USF newcomer Ashish Chadha, and from distance, the shot saved off the line by Andrew Constantino. And take a look, this is Arda Balut. The shot comes off the stanchion, and the offside flag was raised there. Then SF City with another attack here. This is Armand Bamgranian, and his little shot chipped over the bar, maybe just thrown off at the last second there. There's Colin Liberty off of the corner. The Stanford man, he put his hands on his head. He almost thought it was in. But here comes Ashish Chadha once more, and Andrew Constantino foiling the USF newcomer. And then a nice little chance into the area, into no man's land. Constantino coming up big time again. Finally, just before the end of the half, Tanner Beeson onto his unfavored right foot. He wins a corner there. Certainly, that was definitely going top corner on the right side as well. So those were the highlights of this first half. We're getting ready for the second half of action right here on the Bay Area Online Sports Network. SF City 0, SF Glens 0. We'll be back after this.
There's this thing that some of us are born with, and some of us figure out along the way. We must travel. While others are content to settle, we are driven to see and do everything new and different, following our instincts instead of an itinerary, knowing that the price of real adventure is $20 in our pocket and 3 days worth of clean clothes. We understand that sometimes talking to strangers can be a very good thing. In fact, we seek the company of those kindred spirits who, like us, think the worst thing you can do is stand still. So we keep moving, sharing the weird, the cool, the random, the best day ever, and learning a little more about ourselves and each other every day.
Welcome back to Kezar Stadium. Charles Wolin with you. The score is 0-0 between the two sides. Arda Balut getting a little hand wrap there by City trainer Christine Gayoso at the bottom of your screen. The number 9, he's been the most potent attacking threat for the San Francisco Glens. SF City in a customary huddle here. 45 minutes to go in this San Francisco derby. Both teams don't want to leave anything on the field, so this next 45 minutes will be crucial, especially because they have aspirations to finish strong as well. Hero from Friday, Ranier Plantinos, now in the match for the Glens. Number 13, who's set to kick off here. A couple of a substitution for the Glens just at this halftime juncture. Wind blowing from the west to the east, so SF City will have the wind at their advantage in this second half. Diego Lopez on for Ranier Plantinos, cleared away. Robert Hines just took a boot from Plantinos in that 50-50. Slow to get up there. Does not like what happened. Having a chat with Espinoza, who settles him down. Looks like Hines seems to be all right. Well, a reset now for the Glens. This is Matt Albert out of the back. All the way to goalkeeper Constantino. That made 3 big saves in that first half. 2 off of Ashish Chadha and coming out nicely, closing down a cross that was in a position that was very tough. And a spot where goalkeepers have a challenging time. This is Diego Lopez, who's impressed in the first half himself, winning a lot of second balls. Johnny Macbeth all the way back to goalkeeper Constantino. This is Simmons looking to switch the field. McCabe and Diego Lopez with the shot. And it fizzes in the air. Well, look at Barry McCabe making an uncharacteristic mistake, giving the ball away to Diego Lopez. He should have done better there, hit the target. Now, Ryder Bell. Constantino again. And you can see there the ball hanging up. Little push in the back by Bajai on Plantinos. Results in a free kick. Standing behind the ball again, this is Simmons. Over the top, just looking for Lopez. Partida for Tamazawa. Found Mark Joshua for a second. Trying to combine those two. Rudder Bell once more onto his right foot. And Constantino was there. Balut heads on. Diego Lopez. Sideline, McCabe. Again an error. Hines had to be careful there. Both two defenders cutting inward towards the goal mouth. Lopez asking for a push by Partida. The San Jose State captain, Jonathan Partida, going into his senior year next year. Free kick now for SF City. Is there something in this early in the second half for the supporters to rejoice and celebrate? Seems like more and more fans making their way to Kezar for this game. Beeson into the area, and it's just wide. Beeson with a terrific ball that whips in. And look at that, Ashish Chadha sailing in at the back post. First corner kick of the second half to SF City and Bumgranian. Bumgranian serving it off of the palms of Constantino. Tamazawa gets there, beats his collegiate teammate Liberty. The cross, not the best of services. Brought down again by Beeson, who puts the ball back in. Is Robert Hines going to be able to get there? Timing is run. But again, excellent goalkeeping by Constantino. Simmons. Now Diego Lopez drifting off to the right side. His diagonal not finding one of his strikers. Beautiful move again by Plantinos, and he's fouled by Robert Hines. Barry McCabe having some words with Saul Espinoza. And it looks like Espinoza doesn't want to take anything from McCabe once more. Plantinos runs into Robert Hines, bear hug, and on the ground. Well, usually if a bear hugged me in Yosemite, I'd probably be on the ground too. Simmons with the cross into the area. Balut's there, and the goalkeeper, Führer, is able to punch away. Ball sailing back in. Top of the area, and it's Dorwart over the bar off of the half volley. Ray Dorwart. Look at this. Misclearance by Partida and Dorwart. In central midfield once more. Dorwart try to thread the needle. This is Balut. Save made by Führer. Well worked there by the Glens. Maybe there's something from this, though. This is Paoli. Wins a corner. Well, seems to be coming in waves this last couple of minutes or so. Good attacking moments by the Glens. Look at Ray Dorwart's ball. For Balut. Paoli to take. First corner of this half for the Glens. Colin Liberty over the bar. Colin Liberty again able to get to that one off of the set piece. And he knows it too. Has a little chuckle to himself. Could these Glens be set piece specialists? And if they have they been watching the World Cup? Because there's been a lot of teams that have scored off of set pieces. They've called this the Set Piece World Cup. Of course, the final on Sunday between France and Croatia. The World Cup always fires up a group of players on either side. Inspiring generations. Still disappointing that the U.S. were not in it this term. And hopefully that can get sorted out one day. This is Liberty in the corner. Throw in for San Francisco City FC, deep in the Glens half. Quickly thrown in for Chada, who was very lively in that first half. Saw 2 shots rightly saved by Constantino. Now this is Balut, whose first touch was almost there. Corner kick now, Paoli. Outswinger, right-footed, raises his 2 hands. Colin Liberty's gotten to it, and Johnny Macbeth gets to this one. So the Glens defenders bugging SF City's back line quite a bit on these corners. It's going to serve as a warning sign. Charlie Führer surveying the field. Again, the goalkeeper who's solidified his place as the guy for SF City. Wouldn't say there's too much turmoil in the position, but they've gone through 5 goalkeepers. I know that Paddy Coyne would have liked to have Taylor Bailey available for the whole year, who's been with the side for the last 2 years. City College player who's worked his way up the ranks and really shown to be a proven goalkeeper. But I know there was some injury issues here and there with Bailey this season. And Paddy Coyne having to come up with a plan B and a plan C and a plan D, which really is Charlie Führer being the goalkeeper. Throw in far side for SF City. As you can see, Javier Ayala Hill on the sideline for the Glens in his first season. They want to be able to get some momentum in these last couple of matches. They're formed 3 losses, 1 tie, and a win in their last 5. He kept his players on the field during halftime, the whole of halftime, giving them tactics. They didn't go back to the locker room. A coach who's from the Bay Area. Went to Cal, coached at Cal. Now the SF State head coach. This is Jonathan Partida on for Ashish Chadha. All the way back to the back line for Halil Bejai, who finds some space for Tanner Beeson, who winds up, but ends up trotting down the left side here. And his ball for Ryder Bell ends up in a 50-50, and fans love the 50-50, and a foul on Colin Liberty, and the yellow card finally comes out to Ryder Bell. Ryder Bell, bit of frustration. Glens fans love it. They've brought some noise now, but they're not sitting in the Glens brigade. And I think that's actually on Tanner Beeson, who came from behind. So Beeson with the yellow card, do apologize. And the Glens have some fans. They're making a lot of noise as well. You can hear the SF City North Side singing classic song, We Built This City on Iron and Gold. For those of you that don't know, that is on the San Francisco city flag. This is Tamazawa onto his right foot for Ryder Bell, involved in a tense exchange just moments ago. Ryder Bell looking to get his cross in, but kept in here by Barry McCabe. Down the right side. McCabe, who really put in a man-of-the-match performance on Sunday, a goal and an assist for San Francisco City FC. Ball over the top, looking for Plantinos, and headed away by Bejai. This is Mark Joshua now. McCabe. His diagonal looking for Ashish Chadha. Closed down, though, by Liberty. Well, we've played an hour, 0-0 the score, and we've got 30 minutes to go. This is Tamazawa. Nice little push into the back there. And Plantino's having his way with Robert Hines. That's the second time that's happened. Robert Hines with the bear hug just around 5 minutes ago. And Plantinos, who scored a brace on Friday night, just 6 days ago, for the Glens to boost them to a 3-1 victory over the Southern California Seahorses, seeming to have a little bit of momentum against the guy he's going up against, Robert Hines. This is Macbeth over the top. Führer right there commandeering his position for his side. Now Bejai. Out of the back. Look at Mark Joshua chase that down against his collegiate teammate, Colin Liberty. And there's the Glens Brigade once more, spelled in traditional Irish regalia. Briogade Glen. Really nice spelling. Not as many fans sitting in that section from the Glens, but you can hear their voices just a touch to the left on your screen. Seem to be a ton of fans in that spot. Now, this is Arda Balut, one of the main focal points of this Glens attack. A lot's gone through him today. Mark Joshua brought to ground by Simmons. Joshua asking for a free kick. Wonderful little back heel by Plantinos. And the Glens fans asking again once more for a card or so. A little back heel. Christian Carranza now in the match as well for the Glens. Well, look at Ray Dorwart, brought to ground by Beeson. Beeson already booked, so he's got to be careful. Long ball, and Bajai gets his foot to it and concedes a corner. This game starting to simmer a little bit. Tensions kind of flaring up, and the player that Tanner Beeson is a really old-school, hard-nosed defender, so wouldn't surprise me if that second yellow does come out. Paoli into the area. Colin Liberty once more. And Simmons with the effort, cleared off of the line. Almost falling for Balut, and Beeson able to clear. SF City's Danny Kirkland not playing today. He coaches for the San Francisco Glens. The Glens founded in 1961. They are primarily a youth soccer club, with their first year being the PDL. Want to be able to grow this, to be able to show that they can produce players that can potentially go pro one day and continue their playing days after the age of 18. Amato Lozano set to come on now for SF City, who's shown well the last number of games. Perhaps Coach Patty Coyne looking for that extra bite in central midfield from a player like Lozano, who comes on for Ashish Chadha. Paoli with a towering header in central midfield. And headed off by Johnny Macbeth for a City throw-in. Another substitution here for the Glens. Abdel Sonogo making his way into the match. Sonogo for Simmons. This is McCabe squaring the ball up for Lozano, the substitute, and Partita does well to switch the field. There's Beeson's cross. He's looking for Ryder Bell, followed up by McCabe at the end line. What a good tackle by Christian Carranza. Here comes Andrew Paoli. Paoli, a couple of step-overs, runs into Bajai. That's Cal Stanford stuff right there. And the Cal man wins the free kick. Excuse me. Cal UCLA, do apologize. And the fans chanting the SF City, one of their most famous songs. 24 minutes to go is the chant. This is Tomazawa. Picks up possession. End line for McCabe. Not the best of services by Barry McCabe. Well, substitute Lozano for SF City. University of Pennsylvania rostered player. Going coastal from Philadelphia to San Francisco this summer. Bomgranian to take. Bomgranian. This is Tamazawa. Bomgranian with a kind of no man's land chip. Brought down by Plantinos, the hero from Friday. But SF City keeps possession. Through the feet of Ryder Bell. Bell pushed off the ball. Now he gets to the outside of the area. Bell. Long throw in for SF City. This will be Tamazawa. Ryder Bell. And now McCabe. Switching the field nicely. And now a ball over the top on the counter attack. Looking for Plantinos and Arda Balut. And that's really been the route for the Glens today. Besides their outside backs pushing up, Ray Dorwart being one of the potent wingbacks for the Glens. This is substitute Abdel Sanogo. Sanogo finally closed down at the top of the 18 by Robert Hines. SF City not in too much of a hurry here. The game's stretching just a bit in the 70th minute. 0-0. Played an hour and 10 minutes. We've got 20 minutes to go in this San Francisco derby. Coit Tower meets the Golden Gate Bridge, meets Treasure Island, meets the intersection of Haight-Ashbury and Golden Gate Park, where we've got Kezar Stadium, one of the most central places in the city, right in the heart of the 7x7. We're just 3 miles away from the Pacific Ocean. If you go from our broadcast position and you turn left, you'll be right there to Ocean Beach. Wind and mist gently rolling in from that side of the bay. Throw in for SF City, deep in the Glens half here. Kyle O'Mahony protesting with Saul Espinoza. Cleared away by the Glens. Brought down nicely by Bejai. Gets up into the attacking third himself. Why not? This is Barry McCabe. McCabe has a go from distance. Ball over the top for dealt with by Robert Hines. Brought down by Christian Carranza, who settles, plays nicely into the feet of Kyle O'Mahony. Once more, both sets of players know each other all too well. Now Gerardo Mendoza, the substitute. He was set to start this game, but he actually showed up late. And so his name was on the team sheet, but last-minute change by Coach Patty Coyne. This is Jonathan Partida. His wonder strike for SF City on the weekend, probably the goal of the season. That's Plantinos. He runs into Robert Hines again. Foul not given this time. And you kind of got the theme that it may have been given because the last two were. And so Plantinos, who had a brace on Friday, trying to add to that tally tonight. He has been dangerous, and really gone up against it versus Robert Hines. Puts his hands to his side. His body language suggests he's still a little bit unhappy with that one as the ball sails out for an SF City throw-in. This is Lozano. And now Partita, Lozano, McCabe, who slips on the ball. He's got to be careful. Finds Mark Joshua. Off of the feet of Mendoza. And Carranza finally clears. Good stuff this by Tanner Beeson. Breaking back onto his right foot is Ryder Bell. College of William and Mary. Applying his trade this summer in San Francisco. Been one of the first names on the team sheet throughout the 14 games that SF City has played. They'll play their 15th match on Sunday, the World Cup final at 8 a.m., SF City at 5 p.m. This is Gerardo Mendoza, gets to the end line, marshaled out, corner kick. Now, Bomgranian to take. Is this a chance for SF City to get their goal? Raises his hand, not the best service. Oh, and it's just off the bar by Mark Joshua. Lozano at the end line. And a second corner in succession for SF City. Sent into the area once more. Rising is Beeson and Hines. Partita can't make the tackle. That's 3 tackles won there by Plantinos. And finally he wins one. Well, here's the corner kick. Just moments ago. Went to the near post. Comes off of the bar by Mark Joshua. This is Bomgranian. Bomgranian now. Raises his hand once more. This is a good service. Maybe asking for a penalty there on Robert Hines. He wants one. The fans might want one. Not given. And it looks like the Glens Brigade, by the way, has switched positions from where they were before as they're holding flags closer to their side. The fans are awake and alive for this. This is Mendoza. Ray Dorwart. 2-footed challenge there by Robert Hines. And now Ryder Bell exchanging a pass just outside the 18. Ryder Bell for Bomgranian to Lozano, and it's over the bar. Well, the University of Pennsylvania man had a chance. And what a chance it was. It's not like both sides haven't had their chances tonight. They definitely have, but nothing separating the two sides as it stands. San Francisco Derby. And what a marvelous, beautiful occasion. The home side, SF City FC, in the iron and gold. The Glens in the customary green and white. As the sun sets here at Kezar with around 12 to 13 minutes to go, plus stoppage time. This is why you support local soccer, folks. You never give up on the game in your own city. And there's probably about 400 to 500 people in the stadium as the offside flag is raised on Bomgranian there. Steve Cordova now in the match for the Glens. Ball over the top. Steve Cordova, number 10 for the Glens, now on your screen. We've sent a couple numbers forward here. They still have Arda Balut in there. I think Javier Ayala Hill starting to go for it, maybe with 3 strikers. It's going to be a long throw-in. Taken by Sonogo. All the way backed up on the track. He's in lane 7. Maybe lane 8. Sonogo. Long throw in. Ari Rory Delap from the old Premier League days in Stoke City. I'm sure Bill Kerrigan in the truck would appreciate that reference. The long throw in. Stoke City used to score those like you could eat a graham cracker when you were a kid. This is Jonathan Partita in central midfield. Winning back possession for SF City. Now Lozano behind the ball. Not quite Rory Delap for the Glens there, but again, that's the intention. The long throw in by Sonogo. Glens fans buoyed by their flag waving, but now they're sitting down. So our supporter section has migrated and moved. Just around 10 minutes to go in this San Francisco Derby. Is there to be a late winner? McCabe. Otherwise, both sides will settle for a point with 1 game to play. Partita, who is looking for Bomgranian. Bomgranian maybe too kind of cute with that. Maybe looking to thread it through his own legs. Little Johan Cruyff action. Sure, the Dutchman will be looking down, thinking to himself, hey, if you gotta get that right, you gotta put that one in the back of the net too. Constantino off of the goal kick, hangs up in the air as you can see there, via the wind. Lozano, it's a great little touch. Looking for Ryder Bell. Throw in now for SF City. Not too much time left. I attended and got to call the SF Glens SF City match, the first version of this, around 6 weeks ago on the, just on YouTube, but audio only, and SF City marching out to a 2-0 lead, courtesy of a Cameron Crowe cross and a Ryder Bell goal. And this one, nothing separating the two sides thus far. 2 substitutions on the far side for SF City. Victor Ramiro and Taiki Kajitani to be introduced here in the 83rd minute. Couple of final substitutions. Kajitani, City College of San Francisco player. And Victor Ramiro, Cal State Bakersfield. Another long throw-in taken by Sonogo. Is this a chance for the Glens to get on the board? Headed away. Cross back in. Falls here for Sonogo. And the offside flag. Excuse me, the referee points to the spot. Well then. I think all the SF City players are stunned. And I'm not even sure the Glens knew they won a penalty. And the fans are certainly not happy with that one whatsoever. You can see this, Paoli puts the ball back into the area, and a push by Hines. Let's see that one more time. Paoli's chip. Hines with the push on the back. And the push in the back of none other than Renier Plantinos. So stepping up to take this one is Arda Balut, hands on his hips, the Stanford man against his Stanford teammate Charlie Fuhrer. A pat on the back by Partita. Partita standing in the way. He could be booked if he doesn't get out of the way. Balut versus Fuhrer. Balut long run up for the San Francisco Glens. It's Arda Balut! San Francisco Glens get a goal here in the last 10 minutes. A penalty. And Balut takes it. Ice cold in the veins. And what a goal that is. Not a ton of time left. He beats his collegiate teammate too. Kind of contains his excitement, but then fist bumps right there. Fuhrer goes to his right. Balut goes to his right, aka left of Fuhrer, and there's the goal. Well, it's uphill here for SF City. Plantinos with the header. Ball sailing up into the air. Headed on. Beijai back to his goalkeeper, Fuhrer. The fans furious with that. Can't say it on air, but they were chanting BS from here. This is Robert Hines. Onto his right foot. Robert Hines, lots of space. Onward for Partita. Can he get there? Johnny Macbeth trying to clear. Finally does. Deep throw in for SF City. Taylor Bailey, backup goalkeeper, clapping his hands, jumping up and down on the sideline, cheering his side on. I know he wishes he could be back in goal today. Arda Balut now, all the way down the field, and look at Fuhrer, all the way out of his 18 for a goal kick. 87th minute. The penalty by the Glens, separating the two sides. A small push in the back by Robert Hines II on Plantinos. Was it a penalty? Was it not a penalty? Those two were going at it between each other, and so it's not a surprise that it was given, but potentially, just potentially, it may have not been given. Hines off of his throw-in. Crosses the ball back in. Mendoza looking for Lozano. The Glens looking to clear. And is this a famous result for San Francisco Glen Soccer Club tonight? Because if they can get this and follow through all the way, and there's going to be probably 3 to 4 minutes of stoppage time at least. We had none in the first half. Beating SF City FC on SF City's home pitch here at Kezar would be quite the scalp for first-year head coach Javier Ayala Hill and this SF Glens program. Paoli over the top. Nice little chip to waste time. And at this point, these two teams are just playing soccer tennis. Just long hoofs down the field. And if you're the Glens, taking your time ever so patiently. And they have been patient in this game. This is Lozano, central midfield. Ramiro switches the field now for Taiki Kajitani. Kajitani, little chip. He's looking for Mark Joshua, and right there again, Andrew Constantino. Consistency, constant Constantino. Big time Constantino. Call him what you want. He's had quite the game back there. Sturdy as all. As fouls in central midfield on Mark Joshua. As we're in the 90th minute. Not sure how much stoppage there is. But Charlie Fuhrer will take this. Meanwhile, the clock clicks on to 90. Fuhrer asking the referee to push back one of the Glens players in Steve Cordova. Cordova finally booked. The fans enjoy that one. I think I'm seeing 3 minutes. Fuhrer. And it's just over the bar. Did Constantino get a touch? Well, Fuhrer, who knew? And in classic Northsider fashion, regardless if their team is winning or losing, it is when the fog comes rolling in. This is Hines. He's fouled. Chanting in full voice. I know they'd love to get a result tonight if they can. But the Glens would like to get a result, and they've brought their fans. Mainly sitting down. And in this system and the shape that they've played today, they've had to be patient. They want a penalty here in the last 10 minutes. Arda Balut stepping up and finishing. Charlie Fuhrer into the area. It's their one last gasp for SF City to maybe see if they can save this and get a point tonight. The Glens would jump over SF City in the standings and go on 15 points. This is Mendoza, just outside the 18. Mendoza for Beeson. Beeson on the left side. Now, one last chance. Beeson's cross, met with at the far post, and it's just wide. It's Victor Ramiro. Constantino didn't like it. And why should he? Victor Ramiro with a chance on the ground. In the 90th minute, 93rd rather, and stoppage time. And the Glens will end as a mid-table side if this result holds. They'll be 6th out of the 9 teams in the conference. And they would jump up over 3 different teams. Threaded into the area. Oh, and it's just wide. It comes off of the back of Robert Hines. Referee maybe needing to consult with his assistant. SF City players asking for something. There is no VAR here, as you've seen in the World Cup matches that you've watched over the summer. Final roll of the dice, the goalkeeper's up, Führer's in the mix. Final chance here. Sent into the area, cleared away by the Glens. And that is the final whistle. Partida runs right into the face of Saul Espinoza. Does not like it at all. And the Glens march quietly, politely, and in organized fashion into Kezar Stadium and get a famous victory for the first-year PDL side. They march up to 6th in the table, and they win this San Francisco derby. And you can see the disappointment for SF City. Great joy for the Glens, though, tonight. And you can see what it means to to Jonathan Partida, incensed with the referee. But then again, both sets of players, they know each other all too well. They play college soccer with each other, whether that be at the Division I side or a city college side. And there's the final whistle. They all have been in youth soccer together, and so they come from the same recruiting pool, if you will. The Glens march over to their fans, saluting their fans. At the end of 90 minutes, it's SF City FC 0. SF Glens Soccer Club 1. We'll be back with the second half highlights. You don't want to miss that, and the post-game wrap-up after this.
One of our successes has always been able to find the B personalities, and the B personality just stands for Butler, which means fitting into our organization. We could have been a much bigger company if we had chosen to be, but it's been the philosophy of both myself, Bill, and the leadership team to stay at a size that we really know all of our team members and their family members, because we're only as good as the team member sitting next to us.
What makes our restaurants different than the other taquerias is that we have a very unique service where everything's cooked right in front of you. The meats are grilled right fresh in front of you. All the ingredients are made that day, natural ingredients, fresh produce, and natural meats. We have a happy hour that runs Monday through Friday from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. And we have all the tacos are $1, beers are $2. We are famous for burritos. We seem to make just the right balance in the burrito, the right texture, the right moisture, juiciness, the flavor, very unique. We have 3 locations. We're a family operation, so we don't have a lot of locations, but we just have the 3 and run them hands-on, and to maintain all the quality, the service, and make sure everything is done right. My name is Guerrero Espinosa, and I'm one of the co-owners of Pancho Villa Taqueria, one in San Francisco on 16th Street, one in San Mateo and in B Street.
Our smiles can light up a room. Our work can light up an entire city. We're the men and women of the IBEW, working with a code of excellence that guarantees the job will be done right, on time, and safely. We're lighting the path to the future. Let us show you just how bright that path is.
Welcome back to Kezar Stadium here in the heart of San Francisco, the 7x7, one of the most central places in this beautiful and wonderful city. The San Francisco Derby, the second edition of the Derby, was won by San Francisco Glens Soccer Club. Let's show you how that happened here in this second half. As you can see here, Ryder Bell on the turn early, trying to kind of get Constantino, the Glens goalkeeper, off of his line. But here came Arda Balut, and what a save there by Charlie Fuhrer, one of the saves of the game. Quick corner kick, this was Paoli, and it went over the bar by Colin Liberty, who was dangerous all day. Now, the SF City ensuing corner just moments after that one, off of the bar there as well. But then here was the moment of controversy. It was Paoli's ball back into the area. Robert Hines with a push on the back there by Renier Plantinos, who scored a brace last week for the Glens, and then a penalty was given, and Arda Balut stepped up. And I do apologize, it was Balut that was fouled by Hines. So that's the score there, and there was Balut with a big-time goal and a huge 3 points for San Francisco Glens. That lifts them to 6th in the table, and they win the San Francisco Derby tonight. It is significant because they get a chance to move up the table and stunt SF City's 2-match winning run and continue their own winning run to be 3 games in a row undefeated. So, from San Francisco, it has been a pleasure to bring you this here on the Bay Area Online Sports Network. We would be nothing without our crew. On camera 1 today, it's Tim Banks. On camera 2, Avery Motor. And the director and producer, of course, we just call him Jim Pett, but it's Jim Petramili. Also, our secondary director and producer, Mr. Allah Taha himself, the man that makes it tick with the replay. It is none other than Bill. I just went to Russia and came back. I'm so jet-lagged, Kerrigan. And then finally up here with me doing graphics and our stage managers for today, keeping me entertained, keeping me caffeinated with a Starbucks, allowing me to be able to speak the words of this match, tuning me up and tuning me down, Darlene Nicolopoulos, and my uncle, Steve Nicolopoulos. My name is Charles Wolin. Thank you so much for helping to grow the game of soccer in this country, the United States of America, by tuning into this broadcast. That's exactly what you do. Support lower league soccer. That's all from San Francisco. The final, SF City FC 0, San Francisco Glens Soccer Club 1. Have a nice rest of your evening. Good night.